was Nerd Picks. So.
Okay, fair enough.
We live.
Doing it live. All right, let me pull out my my side thing. Lego. It's continuing. Talk to us about it. Or don't.
We need
he's not there. Sound. His picture's there, but he's not. I see how that goes. All right, so for those of you tuning in to our live stream, we just filmed our 1,250 subscribers. That's another milestone, I suppose. And there goes the Disney fireworks.
Yep. Sorry.
Right on cue.
They go on when we go live. That's why.
Right.
It's just a coincidence.
No, they're celebrating our show.
Oh, that's what it is.
All right. Got this going.
So, what's on everybody's mind?
We got lots of different things going on this past week. We just got done reviewing Gran Torino and talking about that coming of age story. It's not coming of teenage, it's coming of 80s. A redemption song, not written by Bob Marley. Great movie. Everybody liked it for the most part, although it wasn't perfect, so there were some flaws in there. We really dug in and picked it apart. Watch the show on Friday and you'll see. All right, Lego.
Yes.
Tell us about this magnificent painting we have. I don't see any skulls on it.
Oh, we got a few. Got a few little skulls. Let's do the old zoom here. We got some little floaty skulls up in here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So we got the fin component of a two-parter. We got the Skull Dude Jake that we did on the stream a couple weeks back. Sorry, you can tell I'm very organized.
That's part of artisticness, right?
Yes, exactly. I do know where everything is, though.
There you go. It's right where you want it.
Right. So yeah, we're going to continue that on, and
so you're going to go back and forth on those as the paint dries and whatnot.
Yeah. So I actually went ahead and just made the executive decision to bust out the good stuff. So we've got Windsor Newton's Artist oil color. This is the good stuff. This is going to really pop, make this thing look cool.
It already looks pretty cool.
Thanks, dude. I think so too.
So we did lose a set piece today, as we would possibly talk about pick of the week.
Yes.
Our pick of the week last week. Great comic. Tell us about it, Caveman.
It was Alien, man. What was it? Alien
Aftermath.
It blew us away. When Marvel acquired the license, we were a little nervous because, as you know, all things. I don't know why we were so nervous, actually, to be honest with you, because they've done their thing. Obviously, they've created a whole Marvel universe and stuff like that. But they gave it over to some great creators, and it's been very entertaining. It's been very gripping, and we've loved what it's added to the Alien, mythos. It's helping it grow, definitely. And so Alien Aftermath kind of adds just another little piece to that puzzle. And it was great, man, to see a new version, a new Alien. The little twist, it was frozen by the people in that facility, and it actually adapted. So when as we know, the alien's blood is acidic. So when you cut them up, if you get some on you, you're in trouble. Well, this time the alien's blood is actually liquid nitrogen almost. So it actually, I know, man, it was mind blowing when the girl's shooting at it and it bleeds on her, and then her arm freezes over and then it breaks it. And it's like, it's liquid nitrogen. Like, oh man, it was so good.
Super sick. It's
So
dude. Go
any
ahead.
ideas on where it's going?
So that was just a one shot, and it ties into. I'm usually a big fan, big guy to say no on tie-ins, but this one ties into the main alien story, which we've been loving, and it actually brings something to it, because in the issue preceding this one, we were introduced to like this Minotaur type alien, and now we're in this issue we were introduced to a different type of alien. So we're just kind of seeing
that's a nice piece that they have. Whatever the face hugger goes on to, the alien that pops out kind of get some of those traits. And we first saw that with those dog aliens that they had, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, and not to give too much, but at the end you find out what it is that what was at that facility that they were trying to protect so much. And like the Lego said, we us, we've always been against tie-ins. Like, just give us the meat of the story. We hate it, but this series has been so good that we just had to give it a chance, and we were so happy we did, because the book ended up being pick of the week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we were really happy it paid off. The risk paid off.
What are your thoughts on the Alien franchise, Josh?
It starts great, and then it's kind of hit and miss after that. I obviously I'm a big fan of the first and second ones, especially for the second one. The director's cut is delicious. After that, I could take it or leave it. I'm not, fortunately it isn't complete trash, but it's also not nearly as great as the first two.
Okay. Awesome. You guys got any idea what's coming out this week? That's usually Isaac's wheelhouse, but
he usually has the list up.
We lost our two foremost experts this week.
That's why I wanted to get it. I wanted to get this out of the way early.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually read the previews.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't know, but we're excited. Hopefully it's good. It's every week's been a good week. So can't go wrong with comics.
Oh,
cool.
Well, we got another Aliens book coming out, so that'll be the one that's straight out of that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, you know what? I did see this. We've got Home number 4. So if you guys remember, Home was the one where
Kids in cages.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more than that.
For sure.
We were very
superhero kids in cages.
Well, one.
Superhero kid in a cage.
But he broke out.
A superhero kid that used to be in a cage that broke out. All right, I'm not going to keep going with that.
Yeah. And then what else, Lego?
We have the Mother of Madness, which is that Mother of Dragons book. Amelia Clark is a writer on it, and I don't know who the artist is, but that's going to be probably a big Image book for a while.
Is it a tie-in with Game of Thrones?
No.
So it's just some story that she came up with, and then she reached out to Image, or maybe Image reached out to her, but now she got a team where she's working with another writer and then an artist to get her vision to come to life on the pages.
That's got to be dope to have that kind of clout or resources to come up with like a general idea and have somebody come in and figure out all the details for you. That's got to then.
Oh,
Then
definitely.
it's like Amelia Clark's big idea.
It reminds me of when J.J. Abrams and his kid did like some Spider-Man stuff, and I'm just like,
Good old Jar Jar Abrams. All right.
Yeah, I could.
So what do we got, Josh? I got the wheel here, ready to go.
oh, the Wheel of Misfortune, yes.
The wheel of misfortune.
Is it Josh's
You guys-
turn?
Josh is our
my
host.
picks.
Dang.
So, you
That was
guys
a
know
good
how
3
I
weeks.
like to do themes, and I've got 6 movies, and there is a theme to them. You'll probably pick up on it fairly quickly, but I was really struggling this last week, and I kind of mentioned to you guys before the show, but I feel like my past successes with clobbering you guys over the head with terrible movies has kind of faded away, and I need to re-up it. But I decided to go with mercy this time and just pick some great movies. So if you're ready, I have my list here in front of me. All right.
As fast
Do we
as I
get
can
do we
write.
get to vote on these?
No, I think these ones are auto picks. So number 1 is and these are all well over the age. They're 30 plus years old, so they definitely make it. The first one is The Shining.
Oh, nice.
I think that's been on our list before, but hasn't been picked by the spinning of the wheels. So, all right, number 2 is Children of the Corn.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that in a while.
And number 3, Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, Jose, that's a good one, bro.
Why you look at me?
Number 4, Stand By Me.
Oh, are these all Stephen King?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Every single one of them is a Stephen King.
That's Stand By Me's top 10 all time for me.
Number 5 is Pet Cemetery.
Oh yeah.
I hope we don't see that one.
Is Stand By Me the one that inspired the song?
No.
I think it was
On
the
the
other way
moon
around.
that we look upon.
All right, and number 6 might be a surprise for all of you, but The Running Man.
Hell yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, these are all Stephen King flicks, and I think I have only seen 2 of them. No, 3 of them. Sorry, I've only seen half of these films myself. So
Oh, cool.
some of these will be ones that I'll be able to see for the first time.
All right, let me see.
Nice.
Danish of Danish, welcome back. Brianna
What's up?
Gonzalez. Bree, we haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for tuning in. John here as
What
always.
up?
Thanks for tuning in, brother. Let's see. It was okay. They're going StarCraft 2, I'm telling you. Layla Star, Alien 5, Marjorie Finnegan 3, Menstrual Cycles Activate Superhero Powers.
What?
I think that was in. I think he was saying that to in cahoots with what we were talking about at the time. That we've all
Gotcha.
moved on from. It doesn't seem to make sense anymore. And then he caught on to the King theme. Make Havoc, sub Steve, some good picks. Nice. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We got 7 watchers right now. If you get that chance, please smash that like button. It really helps us out. We're inching so much closer to monetization, and it should help a lot with at least recouping our expenses that we're spending on these things. Isaac and I have some money invested in these shows that we're showing, so it'd be nice to at least break even with this and have it not cost us to be able to be out here for you guys.
Hey, my time's expensive too, man.
Word.
I write this off as a loss.
Yeah. My
Oh.
insights do not come cheaply.
Actually, it's
Penny-
fun. Even
Penny
though we're
for your
online,
thoughts,
I always
Josh.
feel like we're
Penny
hanging out.
for your thoughts.
Do you guys feel that way?
What's
What?
that?
Even though we're on this Zoom thing, for the most part, I feel like we hang out every Monday.
Yeah, more or less. I really would like us to be able to do like a live one where we're all together, though. That would be fantastic. We've been talking it over for a year, and it just never seems to come around.
I think
Well,
somebody's going
except
to
for
have
Christmas.
to.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
Christmas
holidays
always happens. The
Christmas
holidays
special was
Well, that
that was a
planned,
fun
and
one.
that was because we planned like weeks in advance, and
Them
time
Christmas
off for
shows are
Christmas,
hot.
yeah.
the Christmas shows are fun. Yeah, right. They're yeah. We're gonna eat the cicadas or some other kind of crazy creature this time. I don't even know. I can eat spicy, man. I don't know if I'll be able to wrap my head around eating insects. Jose can bring some chapulines.
Down.
Spicy crickets.
Oof.
That would be great. All right, so let's see. If you guys watching have any movies you want to add to the Wheel of Misfortune, and send them through, and we're going to revisit this in a couple minutes. We'll add some of your picks to it, or at least they'll go to the Gladiator style, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right. We were talking about several different things leading in greater pop culture this week, and one of them Josh had brought to the forefront. So without further ado, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, and I'm bringing this one up with the full disclosure that I have not yet seen it, and I'm not sure if anybody else in the group tonight has seen it. But Black Widow, I found it interesting that one of the stories that has come out about it is how the week 2 box office takes have dropped by like 80%, which exceeds some of the gems of the past, like the Joss Whedon version of the Justice League. And I think, if memory serves, Captain Marvel had a similar drop, but Black Widow's drop is even larger, which is interesting because most people that I've heard from that have seen the film either liked it or at least thought it was passable, that it's not one of Marvel's worst. So I wanted to kind of discuss, bounce some ideas, because obviously I think there's not necessarily a one-to-one correlation, because obviously the environment that we're in right now is fairly different from the way that it was when those other films came out. But I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts on it and maybe add my own as we go.
I don't think we're comparing apples to apples with this. I mean, there's other circumstances, and there was the what was it, 60 million, Jose?
Yeah, it was 60 million. But I think just looking at it from, let's keep it real, guys. People share Disney Plus accounts. So just because, if everybody decided, hey, we'll pitch in, just Venmo me $10 or something, and, different family members, let's be real, guys. Come on, people share accounts. So it wouldn't put it past me, like if a couple groups of friends decided to go over to one's house and they logged in, and then they went to another group of friends, or another group of friends said, hey, can I borrow your login real quick? And they went ahead and went about it like that. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, people probably shared accounts, and that's how more people got to see it, because from what I know, or from what I've heard, or from what some dude told me on the street that I can't confirm nor deny, multiple people have watched it, and they said, oh yeah, my brother, my cousin, they paid for it, and then I just watched it. So I think that's what it is. I think that's the more logical one. That's the most logical way to look at it. It has nothing to do with its quality. I think it's just because people who share accounts, one time paid, and that's it. And now everybody.
I haven't heard anybody bashing the movie too badly.
No, I haven't either. If anything, people have been saying, you didn't watch it. Oh, it's so good. And I'm like,
what's crazy for me is that I always go and see these movies right when they come out. Mm-hmm. But I have like a 5-month-old baby. And we talked about this before. I'm not going to bring my baby to the theater. And every time I go and just take my son, my wife's like, she doesn't say I can't, but she acts mad if I do go and do it without her. So it's like, and on the second day, I think I was like, hey, would it be a good idea to see that Black Widow movie? She was like, yeah, well, we can't go to the theater, and I don't want to pay $30 and not be able to have the theater experience. And come to mention it, I haven't seen a movie since before we had Juliet 3 years ago, and it's just like, oh my god, I opened up a can of worms. That
but you bring
so
up
it's like,
an
all right, well, I
interesting
can't
point.
watch this movie then. Fuck, I can't watch this movie because if I do, like, I'm gonna have to like freeze my baby in carbonite or something to go see this movie because I can't watch it at home. And if I'm gonna go to the theater, I have to bring my wife, but I can't bring the baby to the theater. So it's like it was an infinity gauntlet.
But you bring up a point too, man. Like, I think we had that experience with the VIP, like the private theaters, like $100 or something like that. But even then, that's $100. But if you're just going on a date, I think it's cheaper to pay for it and stay home, buy some beers and chill out at home. It's a lot cheaper than going to the theater, buying 2 movie tickets and then buying a couple drinks and popcorns and snacks. It's probably people just realize it's a lot cheaper to just kick it at home and let your buddies share the account and stuff like that. That's like I said, I'm just looking at it like that. Like that's the most obvious. I don't think it.
Where do we go from here then? Like, what are the extenuating circumstances? Like, where do movies go in 2022? Do they go to the theater and then come here, or there is a mix of both?
I think this is the end of movie theaters, and I don't mean that we won't see movie theaters anymore. What I mean is that they'll become very specialized sort of things. We're not going to get back what we used to have, 3 years ago. It's just not going to be the same. There's no incentive for the market. Those of us that are subscribing to streaming services, there's no incentive for us to move back. Most people would rather sit at home, like Jose was saying, and chill out with whatever food you want, with whatever drinks you want, with whatever people you want. You don't have to listen to other people's kids screaming in the front row or whatever, and enjoy it at home. And most people have big ass TVs as it is. There's very little incentive to go to the theater unless you're one of these weirdos that enjoys the theater experience. And frankly, we're a dying breed.
And John says there's nothing wrong with that, but
I think it just depends, because if a movie, I mean, at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. They're businesses, but it's up to I think creative decisions have to be made. Like if somebody comes out saying, like I could see somebody like, even though Quentin Tarantino's got like a Netflix contract, like I could see someone like him saying, no, I want my movie to be premiered at least the first 3 months, theater only, because of these reasons. So you're still going to have those creative types that say, no, this movie's meant to be experienced like this. And I think if the studio is willing to, work with them, they'll make that happen. And then people will be like, all right, at least the first 3 months, let's go watch it. Let's go watch it in the theater. Why not? It'll give you something to do. But it's like you said, I think it's going to be one of those specialized things. And I don't see them going away. I know that, but movie theaters have been in trouble for quite some time now.
Sure.
It's one of those, things that a lot of people weren't talking about. And yeah, this whole thing with the shutdowns didn't help it, but it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, I missed going to the theater, and so for me, I think I appreciated it more. And it's a bunch of little things. Like I heard yesterday for Sunday, the OC Fair sold out. When's the last time?
They're running at 75% capacity.
Is that what it is? But still, man, you hit a sellout though. But by hearing, oh, it's sold out that day, it makes people like, for sure, okay, then I need to get my tickets pre-sale to go to the next day. And
John says they're bubble burst. That's why they're innovating. I don't know. Like there was always like I stopped taking my family to the movie theater to see movies that I didn't need the theater for. For instance, like comedies and things like that. I don't need to have sound effects when I don't on Beverly Hills Cop. You don't need the theater to shake in a comedy. But you know, you want to go see like a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie, there's nothing beats it. Like I remember we moved to Colorado and they had this really small, shitty theater where like the floors were all sticky and it was like the surround sound was like a plastic cup with a string in it to put on your ear. It was just rough. I'm exaggerating and being
Were there a lot of
hyperbolic.
X's on the marquee?
No, it was just bad.
I've seen theaters like that.
No, it was it was a bad theater, and it was like in a mall. It didn't even have a marquee. It was a bad theater, and it was the only theater in town. It's a small town, maybe like there should have been more of a theater there, and I think they built one since we left. But that's beside the point. The point is that some of the movies I saw in that theater, my living room right now would kick that theater's teeth in. And I'm sure there's lots of places that still got those little podunk rundown theaters that are trying to pass that off on people. And you can get a pretty good setup, even if you're at like double Knitsville's Walmart. You got the TV, you got the sound bar, you got all the bells and whistles and the HDMI. So let's see, we got some. Let's see.
So has anybody in the stream tonight actually seen it? Have any of you fellas seen it?
I'm not.
Isaac and Steve saw it. Let's see. Steve says
They went to the
AMC
theaters.
pass. With the
That-
AMC
that-
pass, it's easy to go watch whatever movie.
That's what I was gonna bring up next.
And then
You beat
John
me to
says
it.
exactly. We'll see the movies that need to be theater experiences that way. But now they're also recognizing that a family of 8 won't go, but they can still make $30 off them anyways, which is true, you know, like, but what does that say about the sustainability of movies, right? Because Terms of Endearment still needs to show somewhere. Like the, you know, like riding in cars with boys or whatever else, you know, my wife and her girlfriends want to go see at the movie theater that I would say doesn't need to be in the theater because it doesn't have booming sound. Do the theaters exist anymore if the only movie that they could show that people are going to go see is the next Avatar or Doctor Strange or whatever?
Well, I think they'd have to they're gonna have to switch it up, you know? Like I think one thing that's been working for them is showing old classic movies.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to cut some sort of deal with movie studios to be able to show movies like Netflix, like you know, Hulu or whatever. They're gonna have to get in on that because if they're stuck paying the rates that they pay right now to show these movies for, you know, however long, they don't make any money off of it right now. And they're very limited on how much they're allowed to show and when and where. So I think
They're making
that's
good
gonna
money
have to
off those
change.
subs. A lot of people got
Yeah, they are.
Disney. A lot of people got Disney. They're making really good money off those subs.
But just as an idea. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, imagine watching Forbidden Planet in the theater, though.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. I
Man.
feel like, you know what, I mean, it might be a business idea, and if anybody's got more capital than I do to make it happen, I think it could be successful if you know how to handle it and market it right. But like Josh just said, Forbidden Planet. All right, I have this little, like Nate was saying, I have this small theater. I can't get the blockbusters in here anymore because they're too expensive and people don't really want to pay to go see them. So how do I keep my theater business afloat? All right, let's get some permission to show something like Forbidden Planet, because you still have to ask for permission, but make it, you know, sci-fi night. You got to come up dressed up in sci-fi. People love the cosplay. I'm going to show Gone with the Wind on this night, but you have to come dampered up. You know, people would love something like that. I'm going to show Back to the Future, 80s theme. Let's go. Or what was it? 70s?
80s.
Back to the
50s.
Future was 80s.
Okay, 80s.
80s,
No, but I'm
50s,
saying, like, dress up
and
80s.
a fake
You know,
future.
Star Wars, come cosplaying as your favorite Star Wars character. Like, that's how you make it. Like, that's how you, if you're the owner of a small one, that's how you're gonna have to do it.
Make Havoc's got a good point. He said theaters never really made money with the movies. They make money in the concession stands. Like which is true, but I don't know. You know, I don't, although we're professional movie reviewers with over 52 movies under our belts and over a year of having our own show critiquing movies, which is still kind of a trip that we're professional movie graders. Everybody watch along, click like if you agree that we're professional, and don't
No,
don't
then
click.
they're gonna hit dislike.
But it'll just show that they're listening.
So I wanted to go down the Black Widow track in one more direction, if you
Please
don't
do.
mind. We know why Nate hasn't seen it, because he's ashamed of how he's treated his wife. But why haven't you guys seen it, cavemen?
Well, speaking on a personal level, I'm currently studying for a state licensing program. So I've spent most of my nights studying, and when I'm with my kids, I try to spend as much time with them. It just Black Widow. I was invited to go with a couple of the friends because they were all going to go on Saturday, but we had a prior engagement. So it's just been timing. Honestly, it's just been timing. And then Monday, right now, I'm obviously here with you guys, so I don't have. I'm not streaming, and then I try to go to sleep at a reasonable time just to get a head start on my day the next day. So it's just been bad timing. Not to say that, I've been able to squeeze in half hours here and there, watching certain shows like Low Key. I had to watch it split up, which kind of killed it. But stuff like that. It's just whenever I can, I throw something on and catch it. But I don't know how long Black Widow is. I think it's 2 hours. I haven't had 2 hours to sit down and watch it. And when I did, my daughter wanted to watch The Sandlot, and she called me an L7 weenie for not having watched The Sandlot. And I don't take kindly to insults that I don't understand. So I said, put it on then. The heck did you just call me? Yeah, she did the whole L. She's like, you haven't watched The Sandlot? What? You don't know about Benny the Jet Rodriguez? What's wrong with you? You're an L7 weenie. And I said, oh, whoa, what? Yeah, so, it was just one of those situations. I wanted to spend some time with the kids, and she wanted to watch that, so we put that on instead.
What about you, Lego?
Honestly, pretty much the same thing. I haven't had a moment to really sit down and watch it. And honestly, it doesn't, I don't know. I'm just not that super into it.
Lego's not the biggest Black Widow fan, which is kind of funny. I personally like her a little bit more. I loved Phil Noto's run with Black Widow, and even the current one was pretty interesting. So the teams that they've gotten on it have been pretty dope. Plus Warren Ellis's run on Black Widow. Whew. Or is it Garth Ennis? One of those two. But
Well,
I've read some
I've got
great.
no qualms with the character.
He
Sorry,
just doesn't want his
go
money
for
going
it.
to the machine.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a timing
say-
thing. Like I don't have a lot of it to go around, and sitting down to watch a 2 hour movie, hour and a half movie is a big commitment. So I really just haven't. And I might someday, but it's not on my priority list very high. Sorry, Josh, it was kind of glitching there.
I've been kind of checked out on the. That's okay. I've been kind of checked out on the whole MCU thing after Endgame as it is, and the concept of a Black Widow film just never really popped for me. So I haven't jumped at the gun to try and watch it. I'm sure I will at some point down the road, but it doesn't have the same kind of draw. I mean, I even wanted to see Ant-Man 2. I wanted to see it, but like they're going to do a Black Widow movie, and I'm like, ain't she dead?
John says we can do a late to the party on it in 10 years.
Yeah, there we go.
I was actually thinking about getting one of those movie passes from ANC, the one that Steve's talking about, because they had that movie pass. And I was thinking about getting one for me and for Miles, and bringing Dustin spoiler alert off, and doing a new movie review show with him. But I gotta convince him to do it because he's too cool.
But you know what? I will give Marvel and Disney credit, and they know how to they know how to keep their capture rate up. Because if you don't watch Black Widow, you're gonna miss out on something for the next movie. And it's typically that's how it is. That's how a lot of these Marvel movies are. They're connected so well, and now even the shows. I mean, they're connected so well that if you miss one out, you're kind of
8 out of 10.
Yeah, but
It would reduce to a 4 out of 5 for
Well,
those athletes out there.
But even ask him, like, does it connect to the rest of the Marvel universe, and does it add to it? Most people that I've been talking, you have all said, yeah. It does.
Yeah,
and
does it make Havoc? Do we need to see this movie to be able to watch Doctor Strange or whatever the heck else is coming down the road?
And maybe not Doctor Strange, but it'll tie into something else. And that's what's crazy. And that it's like you miss one, and then when you go back and you watch the movies and you try to make it all make sense, people are like, well, wait, when did that happen? Oh, that happened in Ant-Man. That happened in Captain America. Remember when that? I was like, oh, okay. And you're like, dang it, I didn't watch that one. And you're like, oh, so you're left kind of like, dang, now I got to go back and watch that. So
Black
Disney
Widow
and Marvel
connects
did a
to
good job
Hawkeye.
of doing that. What's up?
Make Havoc says Black Widow connects to Hawkeye.
See? And there's been
It goes
talks
from the
about
movie
making
to the
Hawkeye
TV
movie.
show. The TV shows have been cool too. I like them.
Yeah, they have, man. Loki was great. Personally, I loved it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Loki as well. It started off a little slow, but I think it really picked up, and it was pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And the multiverse Lokis, that was a great way to introduce diversity.
Well, the multiverse.
We haven't finished watching the Loki series yet, but I think as far as the Marvel shows that have come out, I think WandaVision is really the strongest one so far by a long shot.
It was good. I liked it. It was very original.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It wasn't perfect. It had a few moments, but overall, it was pretty good show.
It started in a weird place, and then it got real strong, and then it kind of flopped at the end, I think. But I mean, overall, it was really, really well done. Falcon and Winter Soldier was just kind of, I don't know. The most exciting part about it was U.S. Agent.
John Walker was good.
Yeah.
I like him.
Make Havoc thinks that Loki destroys WandaVision. Well, I would say in the terms of grandioseness, introducing the multiverse and Kang and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, she had an underling villain and all that stuff. But I mean, like as its own individual work of art, in like nothing had been done like that before. The whole, and then the acting, the acting was amazing in it. How she was able to travel through the decades, and it seemed real, and she was able to nail the accents and the voices of the old times. Yeah, she did a really good job on that one. And she's freaking hot as heck too. She's the hottest one in the MCU by far. In my
Crazy though.
opinion.
Yeah, crazy though. With Loki, it felt like they were giving it a big budget, like movie budget, and you could definitely tell with the graphics, with all of the, like when the multiverse starts splitting up and all those things start showing, like that looked freaking beautiful. I was like, oh my god, that's like movie quality stuff right there. They're not trying to cut any corners, and I like that. I think one of the things that people were kind of worried about, because we've had, like, I think when we were reviewing Forbidden Planet, was it Nate that said it's like early to late 2000 DC shows? It's like that's what you're used to, because that's just kind of what you've been given. So you just assume that Marvel, Disney making shows, maybe they're going to be on par with those kind of graphics. So it was kind of a little worrying, and then they just upped the ante. Like there's a new bar for comic book adaptations, which I feel like Netflix is handling well as well. I liked Jupiter's Legacy. I was very disappointed that it got canceled, because visually it was great.
I think it didn't start with Marvel though. I think it started with what they were doing with Game of Thrones. That was a weekly series that had introduced some, like, the dragons. Jeez, some of those, like what the last few seasons lacked in story, the fight scenes more than made up for in grandioseness.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're
You
right.
ever watch it, Josh?
I bailed out after the third season because I read the books initially, and it was going too far off the rails for me. One of my problems is if I read some material beforehand and then they do a movie off of it, if it's not like reasonably close to the original, then I peace out. It happened with me in The Walking Dead. It happened for me with Game of Thrones. It should have happened with Star Wars, but I still had hope. So
Was it New Hope?
Yeah.
I wish it was.
That's
something similar.
Third season was a good spot
almost
to jump out.
What's that?
Sorry, we keep cutting in at the same time. The season 3 was a good time to jump out of Game of Thrones. They really started relying a lot more heavily on the CGI effects, and the acting quality went down, and the story it was just a downward spiral from there. You got out at the exact right time.
Being a fan of the 1 month that I really enjoyed all the seasons of leading up to the finale, it was a good month.
Oh, you watched it all at once in a binge watch?
Yeah, I did.
How did you like it when you watched it?
When I watched it like that, I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously the finale could have used some work, but I mean, I wasn't too invested in it to be mad.
I didn't think it was bad. I just thought that there was just such. I think it's funny. Make Havoc's watching this because he shared this meme of this horse that somebody was painting, and it was drawn in 4 sections. And the first one was beautiful with color, and then as you go through the 4 sections, it got worse and worse until the last section was black and white. And it was like a stick figure horse. And it was like the seasons of Game of Thrones. So, like they had the basic outline for the last seasons, but George R.R. Martin still hasn't friggin' written those books. So, like, he was supposed to be like trying to do something other than just growing his beard and eating Twinkies.
Yeah. His creative schedule is a little bit annoying, but Harlan Ellison once answered a question on that, and he just basically said, George R.R. Martin is not your bitch. He does what he wants.
He do you guys, I guess we could take a quick vote. Who here thinks that he's actually going to finish that series?
I don't know. He's not.
Depends on how broke he is.
Like if you look at him,
hey,
he's like
an idea.
He checks all the boxes for a COVID death.
Yeah, that's true.
He nah, man, it just depends how broke he is. Really.
If he gets, dude, I don't know. That guy doesn't look like he's going hungry.
Exactly. So
I don't think he's going to finish it, but I think it will be finished because I've heard or read somewhere that he's already gotten the outline down and that he's going to pass it on to somebody else when he kicks the bucket. So he might not finish it, but we might see the end of it.
Nice.
Or he might wait, or he might even already have it. He's just waiting to release it because he knows that if this isn't the greatest book ending of all time, like people are going to tear him a new one, because if they hated the series finale and they went ahead and read the books and are relying on the books to save the series, that's kind of a lot of pressure right there. So as a creative type, definitely might be one of those instances where he releases it and people hate it, and then he goes into hiding and we don't know where he is for like 5-6 years because people were so mad.
John says the creative team said after the series was over that they just winged it, and that Martin walked away after they stopped following his outline.
Yeah.
I've heard all kinds of things, man. Like I've heard that the guys who were working on it ended up going to work for Disney, and they were originally greenlit for 12 episodes, and then they said no, they didn't want to do it in 12. Then HBO said, well, let's do it in 9 or 10. and they said no, we'll do it in what was it? What was the final season? Like 6 episodes?
Go live.
Something like
Yeah. So I've heard all kinds of theory. I think everyone's just trying to, pass the blame on to one another, like who really effed up here. But at the end of the day, man, it's just, it happened. It is what it is. And just, just whatever. It's done. It's over.
John says, and thank God after that wet fart of a final season, Disney pulled their Star Wars movies. Yeah, because those guys were supposed to be getting like a Star Wars trilogy or something.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh yeah, we don't know how to do this. We were just lucky. And then Disney was like, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
The question is though, given how they did things with Game of Thrones, would it really be as bad as what Disney's already done with Star Wars? I kind of think it would still be better.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's high moments and there's low moments. There's quite a bit that you haven't even looked at, Josh. And I don't think that the prequels are as bad as you think that they are, in the sense that I do think that they still are Star Wars movies. And I've seen edits of them on YouTube that were pretty amazing, where they put it all in the 1.5 hour movie. It's dope. But those sequels were rough, man. Those sequels were rough. I've enjoyed the cartoons for the most part, both the Clone Wars that was done by Lucasfilm and then the cap that they put on the end of it. And I liked Rebels. The Han Solo movie wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And I mean, the sales weren't great, but it was it suffered for the second sequel badly. It was the first Star Wars movie that I didn't see in the theater.
Yeah.
And not only that, but besides being the first, the first Star Wars movie that, since I've been buying my own tickets to go to the movies, that I didn't see on the first day. So not only did I not see it on the first day, but I didn't see it at all. And I was just so personally betrayed. Yeah. I remember, man, leaving after, was it episode 8? Just I was kind of okay. And then 80% of the way through the movie, I'm just like, wait, what? When it was over and I sat there in the seat and the credits went and my wife's like, McFly. And I was like, chill out. I don't know. Somebody stole a piece of my innocence away from me. I just kind of got proverbially raped here in this theater, and I removed somebody just destroyed a significant portion of my childhood idolatry, and it was very damaging. I mean, honestly, man, my nerddom suffered. It's ridiculous what Star Wars was to somebody born in 1975. Josh could attest to that.
100%. I told people the day after The Last Jedi that I felt like I watched a dear friend of mine die of cancer right in front of me. It was particularly bad. I had a lot of friends that walked out of the theater in a daze and had a meltdown the next day, just completely coming unhinged because of it. And I agree with you with Solo that it wasn't a terrible movie, but it suffered from The Last Jedi in kind of a reverse way that Captain Marvel did great because it was on the heels of the Infinity War.
Touche.
I think Captain Marvel got a lot more credit than it should have got, and I think Solo got a lot more trash than it should have got.
For sure.
Yeah. Solo was a decent flick.
Yeah. I mean, there's some parts in it that are kind of wonky, but it's a good enough film that I've seen it multiple times. I still haven't gone back to watch Last Jedi another time. I just can't do it.
I haven't watched it. I don't own it. That was I have episode 7 over there because I was still fooled.
Yeah.
When that ended, I was still fooled. I was kind of it's kind of like episode 4 was, but I don't know. it was, I don't know, man. Just it's like reliving. It's like we're in therapy right now, reliving old dramas. You have to talk it out in order to get through it. Like,
I don't think I'm ever going to get over it, man.
That's
I
I
don't
know.
think it. I'm never going to get past. I mean, it's the reason. What it did was it reinforced all of my pre-existing prejudices and stereotypes against pop culture in general. If they could destroy Star Wars in this way, there is nothing that will survive.
So this is actually a great topic, and I'm see Jose sitting here, and he's actually an untapped resource for information on the subject, because you didn't see any Star Wars movie until how soon ago, or how long ago? I mean, it was very recent, right?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. So, like I said, kind of like with Game of Thrones, because I wasn't part of it for so long, I wasn't that invested. I knew what its impact was on pop culture, obviously, because Game of Thrones was pretty huge throughout a lot of Comic-Con. From the year that I started going, it had a really massive, representation along with Star Wars and all that. So I knew what their impact was. I appreciated them for what they were, but I just wasn't as invested as someone like Josh is. So with a lot of these recent movies, I can't say I was disappointed, because it was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but next. That's just how it was for me. I didn't take it as personally. I didn't feel like I saw something destroyed in front of me, but that's that.
It also wasn't like some childhood mythos from your formative years either.
But even, I don't know, because
It's like how Avatar, let's see, John says it's how Avatar ruined Lego. The sequels ruined Josh.
But see, even then, like, I watched Avatar for a while. I knew about Avatar. And when I saw the movie, I was like disappointed because it sucked. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about me.
John says you should still be able to determine shit from chocolate.
Yeah, no, I do. The thing is, I do. I just don't get that mad about it. Like,
in my case, I think the problem is that I regarded the prequels as being like a tremendous letdown. I obviously not on the same level as the sequels. The prequels are trash, and the sequels are like trash on the beach with dead animals next to it. But the thing is that when the news came out that Disney had bought Lucasfilm and that they were going to do new Star Wars movies and they were going to get Han, Luke, and Leia to come back, it was like redemption was coming. And I think that's what it was, is that all of the angst that I had from the prequels was now channeled into this hope for Star Wars Reborn. And we got for
sure. I was hoping that they were doing like a loosely based Thrawn trilogy or something like that.
Yeah,
because I remember I read those books and they were there's just so much amazing potential that could have happened.
Yep.
And even if we had read the books for 20 years and they copied the books anyways, it ain't like Josh didn't know what happened with the rings at the end of the Lord of the Rings, like, but he still watched the movie. You still go on the journey. So man, that's some good talking, fellas. What else we got today? What else did we say we were going to talk about? Did we do Loki? Loosely, right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, I can talk a little Loki.
Yeah.
Oh,
go for it.
Sorry, Josh.
No, go for it. I don't care about spoilers.
Cool. So we saw Kang the Conqueror come out. And wow, dude, that actor fucking knocked it out of the park with that role. He fucking nailed it.
Does he look like Kang?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, but I guess that's kind of the thing. Like, I think all the different versions or variants or whatever they can take a little bit more liberty with what their characters look like.
Nick Vargas says Loki was garbage. I'm asking him to
Right on.
elaborate.
I've heard from several people that Loki was not that good, but it's the usual suspects that whose content I consume on YouTube. So you could consider it biased.
Well,
Gotcha.
Here's the thing about lots of if somebody toes their party line on every issue 100% of the time, then even if they're saying the things that I want them to say, I don't trust them as a news source. Or even, like personal information, I can't do it too much because I'm not going to learn anything. I'm not going to grow, and I'm not going to see what I wouldn't think what I think right now if I was so trusting of everything that everybody told me.
Sure.
So,
it's a fairly wide group of people. I mean, there's channels I follow, Computing Forever, or the Dave Cullen Show. There's the Critical Drinker. There's Red Letter Media. There's Young Repa 59.
Critical Drinker.
Yeah, all of these guys are pretty solid when it comes to movie reviews. I'll watch some of their older stuff where they review things that I've already seen, and they come to more or less the same conclusions I do. And so when they review some of this stuff, and you see that they're all not really pleased with where the MCU is going.
I think they need to embrace their inner Lego. And when I say that, no. Just follow me for a second.
Okay.
They don't have to say every movie's a 10 or whatever, but what they should try to do once in a while, because a lot of those like hater type dudes, for lack of a better word, on YouTube, whichever way they lean, they usually blow up because they're saying something controversial, or they had like a viral moment, and it kind of pushed them into a certain sphere of existence in the on the internet. And whatever their nudge was, they usually kind of try to lean that way to keep reinventing the wheel. They want to keep that ball rolling.
Well, with some of those guys, I would agree. My only thing is that the Critical Drinker and
Critical Drinker's dope.
The guys at Red Letter Media, both of those guys, they're creators. So Red Letter Media, they've done movies, and the Critical Drinker is an author. He writes books. So when they analyze content, movies or what have you, TV shows, they're looking at like things like story consistency, plot, acting, special effects. They're kind of looking at the whole package and then kind of breaking it down from there. I know Red Letter Media blew up initially because of their reviews of the Star Wars prequels, but they've done so many reviews since then, and they do talk up a lot of things similar to what we do. We watch movies, and if we like it, we talk it up. If we hate it, we talk it down. They're doing the same thing. So I don't, in the case of those two guys, I don't think that they're necessarily biased in the wrong direction. I tend to regard their commentary as a little bit more accurate because they are people who are actually creating story materials. So
I think you get now. I'm gonna Jose. You can feel free to chirp in on this one, and you too, Lego. I think that as far as movie reviews go, that our show is extra dope because you get genuine diversity.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we're a pretty different group of individuals, and I think a lot of us have different viewpoints on many things, which is kind of cool because I think it's a real testament to that, we're not just the ideas that we hold.
If you played Bet Your Finger with like the Critical Drinker, and you just like let a screenshot show of the title, and it's like, does he like this movie or not? And you don't even have to read what he wrote about the title. You just say the movie, and if the movie's a little bit less than masculine or something, then you can usually bet your finger. You can do some Japanese stuff and sit with a chopping board and be like, "Hey, Josh, you want to play bet your finger on where the critical drinker goes with this thing?" Now he's entertaining. He's entertaining, and there's almost like a shtick to it. So I like that. But when people are like always like, there's one, The Quartering. Have you watched The Quartering?
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to it, but it pops up in my suggested news feed, as much as more than things I do subscribe to that don't show up, which is like, this algorithm really wants me to like this show. And this guy's in a hardcore echo chamber. And like I said, I kind of line up fairly conservative now just because of the way things have swung, but I always consider myself, center left before. So it's amazing what happens when the teeter-totter isn't fastened in the middle, the board rolls. So
it's funny that you were talking about that whole concept of the Overton window and how the culture has shifted in a direction which now makes you more conservative. I think you mentioned that during our review of Gran Torino, which all of you should watch, by the way.
Yes.
Fantastic movie, fantastic review. But I was thinking like about the shifting of the Overton window. Like, I've always considered myself to be a fairly conservative sort of guy, but I mean, at this point, I'm probably a right-wing terrorist. So the Overton window has shifted so far that I'm like on the extreme right edge of conservatism.
That would be why your opinion makes our show more diverse.
Good.
We have a spectrum of taste. Liz is there; she's our female rep, and it's just and it occurs naturally because we all knew each other before this. So it's not like we went trying to put a chocolate chip in our cookie to make it be more tasty. We just have a show where we talk to our friends about these things, and it works out nice. And it's the right kind of diversity, in my opinion. While these guys are fighting in the comments about whether or not Loki sucks. That's cool. Let's see.
Oh, nice.
We're going to turn to the cards. I'll let you guys in on it. Let's see. I can't wait to see him as bad guy Kang, says John. This was just crazy tired Kang, LOL. Fuzzy and the Fat Man Network, which is Nick Vargas, didn't move the story of the Marvel Universe, was all just set up for Kang. Make Havoc. Loki opened the possibility for X-Men and Fantastic Four. It was a great setup show, ! To which Fuzzy says, Loki, garbage. John says, and giving us Kang this early makes you wonder if he's really the big bad throughout the next phases. We'll see. We'll see.
I was reading with the season 2, we might get it more of the focus of the bad guy being that Ravonna chick, where she would be the one that they're kind of facing off against. That maybe she brings those documents to Kang, and she's the tie-in for how he's able to, I guess, conquer.
Okay.
Personally, I think she's the weakest actress on the show, and I would, if they do go that way, it's probably not going to be very good.
Fuzzy says, no, season 2. Yeah, there's going to be a Loki season 2. I don't know. It was good. Well, I will say that, what's his freaking name? Why can't I remember his name? I always forget people's names that I know when we do
Owen
show
Wilson?
live. No. Freaking Loki.
Oh, Tom
Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking older, man. He looks a lot older than you see his forehead wrinkles and whatnot. Like, he needs to get out of the sun or something.
Botox.
Well, I think that's why I think it ties in with something that Kevin Feige had said either this week or last week, in regards to the actors that they're getting to fill a lot of these roles. They're saying that they're not trying to tie them down with long-term, big-time contracts anymore. They're just trying to, like the way he made it sound, it's like, we want everyone to have a chance to play these characters. And it was almost like, no, dude, you just don't want to pay people a lot of money. Like, keep it real.
Or how about this, Jose?
Go ahead.
About, all right, will you bring back 60-year-old Robert Downey Jr., or you just have Iron Man gone? But if they have if they do like what they've been doing with, I'm not saying I defend it. I'm just explaining what I think that they're thinking. So like the rotating Spider-Man, you got Tobey Maguire, and you know there's been a Spider-Man this whole time. It's not necessarily the same one, but everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Like if they're able to do that with all of actors, then they never have to worry about Robert Downey Jr. getting old or
no. And that's kind of where I was going with it. That's what the multiverse is going to allow him to do. It's going to allow him to recast Wolverine. It's going to allow him to recast Iron Man, to do all these other things. That's really what
they've been doing it with Batman and Spider-Man forever.
Yeah, they have. And what's the most common theory that everybody keeps getting excited about and jumping at the idea that they bring all those guys together in the Spider-Verse movie or something? People are open to that, and Disney's hearing that. Like I said, Disney's done a good job of sometimes, Josh is going to, very much disagree, but they do listen at some point, because as long as there's dollar signs, they're going to listen. So what do people want to see? It's like, okay, we're going to give you what you want to see. It may not be the fans like Josh that they're listening to, but they certainly listen to what's going to bring in that money. At the end of the day, man, it's a business. So if people are spewing out that they want to see Tobey Maguire, who's the other guy, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland all in one movie for a Spider-Verse, they're going to make it happen because it makes sense. Like, pun intended sense, makes money for them. So people may not like the idea of recasting Iron Man with somebody else, but if it makes sense to that story, I mean, we're talking about comic books here. No two artists draw Tony Stark the same. They have similar features. But, you're going to tell me that, I don't know, who's John Romita's Iron Man looks the same as somebody like Mark Silvestri, or that looks the same like, God, who's the other guy that did it forever? I actually have commission from him. I'm sorry. Bob Layton.
Hey, welcome aboard, John Padilla. He says it's like Bond and Doctor Who. That's a good analogy too.
Yeah, it's possible.
Definitely.
And I think people are open to it and should be open to it, because if you've been reading comics for as long as we have, you'll know that different artists draw Iron Man different ways, and if you understand the multiverse, you know that there's different story arcs going on. That's really what they're opening up. That's what the multiverse is going to do for them. It's just going to blow up and allow them to do a whole lot of other things. People got excited with the what if teasers with the Marvel Zombies. It's not to say canon, but it is existent and within the multiverse. And if they do something like that, there's going to be a fan base that's going to see it.
You know what I think is cool that I just thought about? You know how DC has their cartoons, right? The DC cartoons have always been really dope.
Yeah.
And and that's an understatement, right? They've kind of beat up the Marvel cartoons. And I want to say the reason why is because I think the Marvel cartoons have always wanted to stick into a continuity too much. And the DC would just drop a whole new bat thing. They just drop a Batman story in there. And sometimes they have Kevin Conroy, and sometimes they don't. And sometimes, and they just kind of, within the first 10 minutes of watching this cartoon, you get an idea of where this Batman universe is and what's going on. You can watch it and be entertained by it.
Yeah.
That could be, and maybe Marvel was trying too hard to be able to follow it. And the multiverse is a great excuse to just be like, this is how you drop a random story in with a whole other Spider-Man. You could Spider Pig, you can have his story, and it would still make sense within the continuity of this setup. Yeah, that's.
Plus, the other thing too you have to remember is that Disney, again, because of the money, they're talking merchandise. They'll know how to position that merchandise. So if you're not, if you're a fan of Spider Pig, there's going to be a whole Marvel Legends line designed, does, just for Spider Pig alone. There's going to be backpacks with Spider Pig all over it. That's just how they know how to push it. And so they just know how to do their thing, which is to make money. Again, I keep sounding like a broken record, but they're out to make money. So that's really what's the driving force behind that. We just get the payoff that we get to finally see something. Like, I've been excited, but how crazy is it? Wasn't it DC that created the idea of a multiverse, that created the idea of multiple realities back with the Flash? Wasn't that really like
was Flash out before X-Men was doing it?
No. It goes back further than that. You guys are forgetting the Crisis on Infinite Earths back in the early '80s when DC had to unify their timeline, because before that they really didn't give a crap about canon. So you had all kinds of crazy stories, where you have Batman with a gun and all stuff like that, and then they had to like unify it all at some point, like in the '80s. So Crisis on Infinite Earths is really I think one of the early examples of like multiverse theory.
And if it goes further, guys, let us know in the comments so we can correct it. But with that being said, that was DC. Yeah. And now Marvel is kicking their butts with that, and is taking that concept and now blowing it up to the big screen. It's incredible, man. It's crazy to see. Living in crazy times. Really the golden age of comic book adaptations.
Hey, Lego.
What's up?
Vargas says you have a nice stroke.
I do. Thank you. Appreciate that.
The other Vargas.
I didn't know you had a brother.
So you got we only got 6 movies on the wheel. Anybody got some movies?
Yeah, get some suggestions on there, guys. Let's get this wheel going.
Late to the party. Let's get this wheel going. Give us some ideas.
Those of you that are watching, if you like the list that I put up, you can always add more Stephen King flicks to the wheel.
I'll go over the list as it exists right now. The Shining, Children of the Corn, Maximum Overdrive, Stand By Me, Pet Sematary, and The Running Man. Misery.
Ooh, there we go.
Misery. All right.
Nice, Bree.
Good suggestion.
We've been missing you, girl. You got to come back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Silver Bullet.
That almost made my list. Almost.
Lego, you went for Silver Bullet?
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, was that the one that I think Bernie Wrightson did the artwork for the book, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I like that one. Gary Busey in that thing, man.
V for Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
V for Vendetta, Big Lebowski, and Needful Things.
Ooh.
I think
Okay.
for a minute, I'm not saying I don't want to put it on there, but let's table V for Vendetta and Big Lebowski.
How dare you?
Listen, just hear me out. If we run out of Stephen King movies, but I wouldn't want to.
But you're taking away my vote. That's taking away my liberties. I don't agree with that.
We live in an age where liberties are removed, my friend. Get used to it.
Yeah, but not by Nate.
We live in an age where I have the wheel and the marker. No, it'll probably end up on there. I just want to see what how many.
Let's Nate, guys. Let's talk on the side over here. I really think we should overthrow this guy.
Needful Things.
I don't know what that's about, but I'll vote it.
You've seen the Rick and Morty episode. You know what it's about.
Okay.
It's Satan comes to town. And
yeah, I like that one.
There you go.
Satan, say no more.
Shout out to the Wizard of Barge with the dope shirts.
Monkey Shines. Monkey Shines is dope too.
Monkey Shines? I don't know that.
Stephen King, man. It's 3. Yeah, this guy has a lot of movies.
Why am I thinking of this random title that I can't complete? It's something blank this way comes.
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah, is that a movie or what is that?
It is
That's
a movie.
Ray Bradbury, right?
That's
Ray
Red.
Bradbury.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I actually
Okay,
have Jennifer Steinert's copy of that right here that I borrowed from her.
something this way comes.
Creep Show.
Yep.
Creep
That's
Show,
Stephen
so good. Oh my god.
Never seen Creep Show.
What? Me neither. Maybe I have. I
Anthology.
just don't remember.
It's like the Twilight Zone, but scary.
Wait, is that the one that has like a comic?
Like in the cutscenes, or like in between the main story.
No, that's the one. That is the one that Bernie writes and drew. I have that one. I have Creep Show.
Let's see, what else do we got here? It's a miniseries though, right?
Dang, yeah, that one's long.
That we can't do it. I would totally do it.
It's just long, dude.
It's just too long, man. I'm sorry.
But it doesn't get a thumbs down either. It's just,
Yeah.
dude, that's a long series. Yeah.
Sometimes they come back.
Sometimes that one sounds like a spooky title.
Yeah, sometimes they come back is good. Even sometimes they come back again is good.
Ooh.
Was Cujo Stephen King?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Christine? Did you do Christine?
Yep. Well, I didn't do Christine, but Christine is a Stephen King flick also.
Is there anything that he hasn't written?
That was one thing that really bummed me out was the movie's take on Dark Tower. Dark Tower, Stephen King anthology, so good. This thing's asking me for permission to show somebody cussing. Oh, it says porn. Show. All right, so nobody suggested Cujo. Firestarter.
Firestarter is a Stephen King.
Okay, now we've got 3 left. Are we going to keep going Stephen King, or are we going to put other movies on here? The Mist. Oh, that was good too.
Oh,
Oh man.
Man, I don't know if I'm ready to watch The Mist again.
Man, the Thomas Jane one.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was so rough. And
What
I have
about
kids
What
now.
about the Salem's Lot?
It's a miniseries though, right?
No, I think it was a movie, wasn't it?
No, it was a miniseries, dude.
Oh.
It was good. It scared the bejesus out of me in the 80s, I will say. The Mist. Vargas says it was the best ending. Secret Window. That's Hitchcock, isn't that?
I know, I think Hitchcock is Rear Window.
Okay. Secret Window. Is that a Stephen King?
I don't know.
Steiner saying we should do a John Carpenter will next week.
yeah.
1406.
1406.
I think that's a mini series.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, we got like ideally an hour and a half, potentially 3 hours. Green Mile. Green Mile.
Green Mile.
Green Mile. Bree, you hit it. Green Mile. Okay, Bree's on there.
I haven't watched it Green Mile.
It's a good one.
Like, man, you could fill a whole wheel with what you haven't watched.
You could start a whole show.
Hey, I know someone who did that.
All right, 1406.
Is it a movie or I thought that was a miniseries?
It's a movie.
Yeah, if it's a,
It's a movie? Okay, I'm down.
Cool. We're full. And Josh, hopefully we get 1406, because it is not only a Stephen King movie, but a John Cusack movie.
Oh boy.
That would be that would be
Oh
glorious.
man, just kidding.
All right, so stay tuned. We'll be spinning the wheel later. All right.
Kind of cool that everybody jumped on the Stephen King bandwagon.
Yeah. We got a good.
Because it was hard to select like 6 movies that I thought would be, pretty cool to have up there. I mean, The Running Man is a Schwarzenegger film, but also a Stephen King movie. So I just thought it was hard to pick, and so it's kind of cool that people put on additional Stephen King flicks so that it was significantly expanded.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some kind of demented thing that happens through here. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on this week in nerd news? Talking Black Widow, movie picks, Loki season finale. Talked about the pick. Oh, anybody got any art or anything like that? Sketches, other than the art that's happening live before our eyes the entire time?
Damn, what am I, chopped liver?
I have a page here. GI Combat number 28. This is from the late great Sam Glanzman. I think he passed away in like 2019.
Oh dang, that's beautiful.
It is. Wow. That car though. Goodness. That's good job.
That's what I got. That's my art of the week. Graphics. Looks like Josh is updating his keys. Got any keys on Van Nuys, Mr. Vargas? Lego's got. What do you got in the garage, man?
Me, I got a ton of shit.
What would you say your
Can't touch them with these though, baby.
your favorite book that you have? Your favorite personal, and then like which one do you think is worth the most? If you even think about such things.
Honestly, I don't really think about
Such
that.
things.
Yeah, I probably got some pretty decent fire, but I don't really look at the prices too often, and I don't know.
It's tough sometimes
Oh, no doubt. No
because
doubt.
you get tempted, but there's some stuff that I wouldn't get rid of. Like I have a not an absolute, but I think the year that we met Darwin Cook, they had a new edition of New Frontier. It was like in a beautiful hardcover, and he signed it and he sketched a little Green Lantern kind of face silhouette in there. So that's I got multiple little sketches like that from him that year. So really happy that even though he never got to finish my commission, I still got little things like that, and I wouldn't sell those things. Like those mean a lot because I think he was one of the first like high caliber artists that I was trying to get, if I remember correctly, like trying to get a commission from. Like they're all legends in my eyes, but there's certain ones that carry a weight to their name, and I think Darwin Cook was one of them.
100%. He's an absolute legend.
So
you got any fuzzy dice or heavy games today, Josh?
I have a very heavy game. Doesn't really fit the theme of this week's movie picks, but this game was actually only recently introduced to me, maybe 6 months ago. But it's a really interesting game, pretty detailed considering. But it's called there we go, Nevada City. It's like a Wild West kind of board game. There's a a town that you have to build in, and you basically are one of the founding families of the town. And so you have your ma and your pa and your boy and girl that's in the family, and then you can hire workers and you can marry them into the family, and you're basically trying to build up the town to become like the most influential person in the town. It's a pretty exciting game. You can get into gunfights on the streets to try and eliminate some of your rivals. You have to do a lot of mining and cattle rustling and all sorts of things in the scope of the game. But it's like a resource management game. You can become the sheriff of the town. You can become the person who runs the town paper and write terrible stories about your opponents and things like that. It's very, very entertaining. And as I always say, weight is a sign of reliability. If I hit you on the head with this, I guarantee that you will die. So it's got some heft to it. But I highly recommend it. Definitely on the keys for board games, Nevada City.
I think that we're going to spin the wheel at 11. I was thinking about having it be a set time that we do it. So that way we can.
Sounds good to me. 11 is right at that cusp of the time when I'm starting to lose my grip on reality as it is.
That makes a few of us. So we got 3 minutes till we spin the wheel and see whose movie we get to watch. Although, however it lands, it'll still be Josh's movie and it'll still be Stephen King this time, which will be a.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're watching nothing but Stephen King this week.
It'll be a treat. Yeah. See how when I didn't put V for Vendetta on there, you guys still filled the movie up like that, anyways.
Yeah, but it's V for Vendetta.
I hope you're happy, Nate. They would have been this week too.
Right.
That's another reality, man. The TVA is gonna come bust you for trying to speak that into existence.
Let them try. Bring it on.
You get the power of dope.
Dude, I already saw how to beat him.
They couldn't think of everything.
Oh man.
Oh right. 2 minutes. 2 minutes till we spin the wheel.
2 minutes.
What's going on, buddy? What do you got? Oh, Beachhead. Too bad it's a pop. Other than that, it's cool. Is it a pop?
Sick.
No, it's from Loyal Subjects.
Oh, right on. Does it have articulation? Looks like a hips.
Yes, it does. He's got right there. He's got the leg articulation,
And then,
head movement.
and
He's
then,
got a backpack, and he's got
5
other
points?
accessories.
and
5
then
points?
he have a bath, and then
He's got a little assault. Let's see. He's got 1, 2
Elbows and knees too?
knees also. Knees
That's
bend
dope.
also. Yeah. Waist articulation, ab, little head. Loyal Subjects don't mess around, man. They're pretty dope.
Hey,
and
hold
then
on. I'm gonna bring the original Beachhead right now. 2 of them. 1 in the package and 1 loose. Give me. Actually,
You
we're gonna
got
spin.
1 minute.
We're gonna spin the wheel at 11. Stick around if you want to see that toy's great grandparents.
Speaking of toys, here's your weekly reminder that The Rock should not be Black Adam. This is not The Rock.
I don't know. I smell the cooking.
There is no Rock likeness here.
Smells
He
delicious.
looks like Dracula.
Yeah, well, back in the day, villains looked like villains, not like wrestlers.
All right, so let's go through what's on the wheel this week. We've got Creep Show, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Firestarter, The Mist, Green Mile, 1406, The Shining, Children of the Corn, Maximum Overdrive, that's a great one too. Stand By Me, that's the best one. Pet Cemetery, Running Man, Misery, Silver Bullet, Needful Things, Monkey Shines, Back to Creep Show. This thing's got wall-to-wall fire on it. Good one, Josh. You done well, Paul. All right. It's 11 o'clock. Once again, time to spin the wheel.
Woo!
Misfortune.
Sheesh.
Like I can see it at this range anyway.
Misery.
Ooh,
Why he done
they
this?
love company.
Oh man, have you seen it, Jose?
Yes, I have. Kathy Bates, man.
Oh man,
She's a 10 out of 10.
on the Richter scale. Hey, I'm gonna go grab those toys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, she's certainly better than Kelly McGillis.
I don't know, dude. I like Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly today.
Hey, I didn't even notice her, but you know what? Now that Nate hates her with so much vitriol, like she's my favorite, dude. My new favorite.
You should buy Nate a signed lobby card with her.
I think I will. That'd be good.
A Christmas
Good
gift.
idea.
We should
Ooh,
all
there
do
we
that.
go.
We should all get Nate some really good Christmas gifts for the Christmas reunion this year.
You know what? I'll make a point to not call it a Christmas gift though, just to really get his goat going.
Thank
Got
goodness
leaky
you're back.
palms.
It's been nothing but silence since you left.
I don't think so.
That's not true.
I heard Kelly McGillis through the headphones across the room.
Of course you did.
Man, she lives in your head rent free, man.
So that's the original beachhead.
Look, Isaiah, that's the original one.
Whoa! Wow!
Can he have it?
Huh? Can you
Sure.
have it?
Yeah, I'll sell it to your dad.
No, you didn't hear me right. Put your headphones on. Can he have it?
And
Yeah, I'll sell it
this
to your
toy.
dad. Here he is in the original package.
Wow.
Great artist did the work on these. They were paintings. This is the newest
Yeah,
version.
I'm going to show this. Whoa, that's cool.
They're dope.
Classified. You can get these now.
Wow.
Where?
Yeah, they're not. The scalpers get them all, but they technically are for sale right now. You just can't find them like any other cool toy out there.
It's damn son because
He said, "Damn scalpers."
and I got this and I got this
Silenced.
Muzzled them up. Misery, huh? Man. When she goes Iverson on him.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's rough. I haven't watched that. So I only seen that once.
Oh,
Because
really?
it kind of left me like, oh.
That was the same reaction I had to seeing The Mist. After that.
Oh
movie, I was
God.
like,
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad we don't have to watch The Mist. Oh, I have kids.
You know
now.
what? I would
Oh.
have still enjoyed having to go back and watch it again, but that was a rough one to watch. But
Man.
Misery will make a good substitute. So
Yeah.
I love what you're doing with the texture on that Lego.
Thanks, dude. Trying to add a little.
Makes me want like
Little
mint
something
chip
to it.
ice cream.
Dude, right? That color just looks tasty, dude.
It does.
It's just a nice color. I'm like thinking, I don't know. I want to put like, it's missing like one thing. It's like almost there, but I don't know what it is.
He needs to be farting or taking a shit because that's where
It's
the
fun.
area is. Not because, maybe not specifically, but at least where he would fart or take a shit in the picture is where you could put another thing.
it's weird that Nate and I had virtually the same idea because I was thinking like he needs a poop emoji.
Well, you got the fart cloud right there.
Oh, there you go.
Little skull dude poop emoji.
There we go.
Skull Dookie Joe.
Dude, could we just make a whole Skull Dude Joe emote pack? And every download comes with a bunch of viruses.
That was a great twist. That was such a good twist. Oh man, I wasn't ready for that. That was great. I thought you were going to promise some sunshine and rainbows. No, virus.
No.
That'll be great for our business model. Trust us. Trust us. Buy our shit. You come out of there with gonorrhea, oh man. All right. What else do we got?
Nothing, man. My tank be empty.
Yeah, I'm kind of empty too.
I spent all my energy on Gran Torino.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good
Hey,
one.
you guys were very well spoken on that. That's going to be a good video once it's all comes out.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun to do.
Yes.
And I wasn't really looking forward to it. I was riding bikes with Lego yesterday. Like, I don't want to watch that movie. And it changed for me. I think watching it, a couple years older, it changed for me, the whole thing. So it was good. If you guys haven't seen it, first of all, check out a review of it or watch the movie and then see our review. I think it's streaming on a 3-letter service.
Mm-hmm.
The acronym for a horrible body odor. So if you get a chance, if you want to check it out, and just the social commentary on how it pertains to these times is pretty remarkable. And it seemed like it was a foretelling of things to come, but check out our review. You get a deeper perspective of what we thought on that one.
For sure.
Had a lot of action tonight on the stream. It's a lot more. It's a whole bunch. That's good, man.
Yeah, without Liz here, I'm not able to see the stream because we usually have our second phone out, doing the watch on the side. But since she's not with us, I'm totally blind to it.
That's cool. Jose?
All right. So now we know when we want activity, we get rid of Isaac and Liz.
That's right. Our most watched show ever.
No, we actually I don't know. We'll see how it goes because people still watch it for a couple days. The count tick goes up, but the older I have them all dated. So the older the date is, I might start archiving them, just because I don't want some of the shit we say to be out there forever. Probably me.
You gotta let it linger, man. Just let it be out there in the ether.
It's still out there. It's still out there, but even with those world famous podcasts out there, you can't watch back past a certain point.
Lame.
Yeah, I know.
There are ways.
Yeah, but not for us normies.
Yeah, he knows a guy with a trench coat.
People always talk about the Wayback Machine, and I have no idea what that is.
Hey, that's it, Lego. What you're doing there?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks.
That's it. It fits, but it fills the space. It's different, but it's the same.
Right. I think it works.
Well, I really appreciate you painting that for me, Lego.
Yeah, no problem.
It's really nice.
You know my Venmo.
I don't know.
No, I'll just drop off the bike. I'll just drop off the bike for some maintenance.
There you go. Actually, I've got a bead on a new seat for you, bro.
Ooh, I like that.
Seems how your seat's falling apart.
Yeah, man. That's every time I hop on the bike, it's like the first little like 5 minutes, I'd say it's just like, all right, got to get used to this really uncomfortable feeling in my booty.
You don't have any calipers, do you? You don't know what a caliper is, do you?
Like a brake caliper?
Like a measurement caliper, so we can see what size your seat post is and get you fitted for a dropper.
Oh, no. No.
We got to remember to ask Craig about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I could just cruise by one of these like afternoons or whatever, but
Yeah, he's over there till like dark every day,
yeah.
except like Monday.
Nice. Well, I'm usually busy Mondays anyway.
Right? Likewise. All right. So we got Misery coming next week. And then we got there's an alien book that they're excited about picking up tomorrow. Other good, great things happening this week in this world. We got our show coming up of Gran Torino on Friday. Comic Cave's on again tomorrow night for episode, what is it, 94 or 95, Lego?
I think it's 95.
95, 95th episode on Collection Connection for the Comic Cave. So they're coming up on their 100th show. Pretty excited for that one, actually. We should probably talk about how to make that extra special.
Is that the 100th show with the Collection Connection or like all together?
No, with the Collection Connection.
Just Collection Connection. They probably have more than 100 just sitting in their vault.
Yeah, the old Comic Cave, we did it pretty consistently for, I don't know, 2-3 years.
Dang.
I think it's more thematic now, though. We got like
yeah.
So it's
The show's 100 times better now. We're having fun hanging out and before and we're still doing that, but I think our quality of reviews has gotten a lot better. We're better at reading comics. We're better reviewers. And we're reading more diverse stuff.
John Padilla wants us to come out with prizes.
What kind of prizes do you want? You want paintings?
My presence is a prize.
Yeah, maybe lunch with the Collection Connection.
And Bree says hi. It's all.
Yeah, lunch with the Collection Connection, but you guys pay.
Sold.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
We like
the texture on those.
Maestros. We like Flemings. Korean barbecue. What else is expensive?
I don't know.
Sushi.
I don't know.
Sushi
Sushi.
or ramen.
Could go
Ramen.
for some ramen.
Ramen's not expensive.
Catch us at Mitsuo Marketplace in the food court. That's the place.
Oh yeah. They're good, man.
Oh, these guys are going to be at a convention coming up. Are you going to the convention, Jose? Are you going to Ontario?
Yes, I am. I will be at that one. I think the only convention I'm going to be missing is Designer Con. So
Are you going to miss DesignerCon? When is it supposed to be?
the weekend of November the 13th through the 15th.
Huh.
But there is gonna Designer Con is doing a virtual con during the summer. It's coming up in a few weeks. I'll get the dates and we'll talk about it next time. But anybody who purchased the VIP last year for last year's show got a free ticket into this one. So it's gonna be cool. And they're gonna have exclusives from some of the vendors from Designer Con. So I'm not too bummed out.
I wonder if it's going to be able to happen. I know that they were bringing mask mandates back to LA and whatnot. I wonder if that's going to interfere with these Disney and these cons trying to open up again.
You know, I think even if it does, enough people want to go where they're just gonna put it on just to make the show happen. So
Yeah, I'm
plus
inclined
you have
think-
to remember that a lot of these guys are international. Like a lot of these toy and Safubi companies, they're not based in the US, they're based in other countries. And some of those other countries still have mask mandates. So it wouldn't be a difference for them. That's what I've been reading on a lot of the
Well, it's not
boards.
about wearing a mask or not. No. That's not what I'm talking about, wearing a mask or not. I think that most people are going to be, I don't know. Don't even know how much I believe it or not, but I would just wear one just to not have to deal with anybody's drama about it. It's not the mask thing that I'm concerned with. It would be more lockdowns potentially coming down the pipe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Designer Con really kind of they got it.
But that's the
handled.
one you're not
Like
going
Pop
to,
Shop,
right?
yeah, but last year they did it live on Pop Shop Live, and it was successful. They found a way to combat the bots on it, so it was crazy. People that wanted the collectibles were able to get them, and I mean, for the most part, yeah, you didn't have a convention that was in person, but the collectibles and exclusives that you wanted, you were able to obtain. So there was people were happy just with that.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that depend upon what one's enjoyment of a con is in the first place? I mean, if it's just procuring, like variant covers or whatever, then I don't know. That's not what I go to cons for, I go to cons to go hang out with Carl Altstetter and Norm Ratman and Marat Michaels and Dan Fraga and any of the other dudes who I know on a first name basis. And, like that's what it's more about for me. I probably spend like a 80-20 time between Artist Alley and where all those other things are. I think I've only ever gotten one like exclusive from San Diego in all the years I've went.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I've gotten quite a few exclusives. I like that element to it, but I do think the human element is the real sell for the convention.
So I mean,
There's
I don't know how well it can be replicated. I mean, they have like things like this where you get to watch Todd McFarlane talk to Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee about the olden days or whatever, and everybody can watch it online. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a virtual Hall H or whatever, and I guess you could probably see more and not have to wait in line. So somebody who had never got a chance to go and do and see those things before, could maybe have a better experience online. And there's something to be said for not having to smell comic fan body odor in an enclosed space. But yeah, I do miss cons for sure. Even if it's a little teeny con, like I just want to go see some of those people again.
Definitely. I think these are about done.
Talk to us.
I might touch it up a little bit, but I'm pretty happy. They seem pretty cohesive. I might add a few things to this Finn one, maybe lighten this Jake one up a bit, but they look pretty fun together.
Yeah, they look like the first two prototypes for the upcoming Skull Dude Joe collectible card set.
Hey, there we go. I could pump a few of these out. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you only need like 30 of them or something.
Yeah, that's no problem. Give me a month.
You need 52 and 2 jokers.
Okay, there we go.
That's what we're talking about.
Just have one skull. That'll be the ace.
Oh yeah, like that'd be cool.
Skulls can take the place of aces on the cards, and you can come up with other shapes, a queen skull or a club skull, or I don't know.
Sweet.
I got crazy ideas. I don't know if they're good or bad. We'll see. Or we won't.
All right, fellas, I need to wrap it up. I got to get up in 4 hours.
All right.
All right, dude.
I think that'll call it for all of us then. Thanks for coming. We had some good talks today. I think the show was good. We miss our cohorts, but they should be back again next week. And
Yes.
it just means you got more of us, which is always a good thing, right? Thanks for coming, and we'll see you all next week. Don't forget Comic Caves on Wednesday and Late to the Parties on Friday, and we'll see you next Monday.